What's up, JEFusion fans? This is Philip and welcome back to another video. So, Kamen Rider Gavv episode 12. So, it's been actually about 3 days already since the episode came out. So, I hope you guys have had the time to watch it because, well, there's an interesting shot in the early parts of the episode that may provide an interesting backstory to Shouma and also to Hanto as well. So, to summarize basically what happened, actually continuing a little bit, no, sorry, what happened in episode 12, rather. Uh, so, this is where, you know, Shoma and Hanto learn of each other's identities as Kamen Riders, right? So, like, neither of them wanted to, neither of them wanted the other one to find out about their secret, but, well, uh, because of some circumstances, basically, Hanto gets, defeated by the Granute, and it undoes his transformation, and it just so happens that Shoma was there to see it, therefore learning of Hanto's identity, and then, you know, Hanto seeing that, oh, you know my identity already. Well, it's not fair if, it's just you who knows my identity, so show me who you are. And then Shoma, in his honesty, reveals himself to Hanto. And, basically what happens at the end of the episode is that they have built, a relationship based on trust. So, at least for Hanto, he knows that, like, it's someone he can trust, and someone who has, at least in Hanto's eyes, Shoma has the same experiences. Again, being, a Kamen Rider and losing someone important to them, namely their moms. But we'll actually get to that. So, like I said early on in the episode, while Shoma was tending to Hanto's injuries, and then they talk about their moms, like I've said earlier. So Shoma mentions his mom first, like his mother was uh, compressed into an acrylic stand form, and what happened. And Hanto also mentions the same thing. So, in this scenario, so as Hanto pulls out his mom's picture from his bag or his pocket, I couldn't remember very well. So Shoma suddenly has a headache, as if there is a memory inside his mind that was triggered, but it's something that, I don't know, a memory that has been locked. That's trying to resurface. So this is where the theory comes in. The Granute who took Hanto's mom is none other than Shoma himself. Now, I'm not saying that this is final, but what makes sense is that this Granute who attacked, Hanto's mom, so we all, Hanto knows by memory, or at least how he remembers it. So the drawing that he has of that Granute who attacked his mother, interestingly, has a red Gavv, just like Shoma. And Shoma is the only one we see with a red Gavv. So to those who don't know what the Gavv is, or, if anyone of you watching this video don't know what Kamen Rider Gavv is yet, or haven't watched the show yet, then I highly recommend that you start watching it before we continue. So the Granute even in their humanoid forms, so they have these large mouths on their abdomen, on their stomachs. So usually, if you look at someone's mouth, right, like this one, so it's not really red, right? So it's, kind of pink, flesh colored even in some situations. So, like a natural skin tone color is what we're looking at if we're talking about the more typical Gavs in this show. And again, Hanto's drawing of that monster who attacked his mom when he was a child, so he has a red colored Gavv just like Shouma's. So again, being the only other guy with the red Gavv, so I guess at least at this point we can put two and two together, unless there's some other guy who shows up, like, this is actually the guy who attacked uh, Hanto's mom, and Shoma is just a red herring for that. But we don't know just yet. It's still quite early on in the show. We just had 12 episodes aired at this point. But it is an interesting thing to note. So we do know that Shoma is half Granute, so it's not far off to think that he can actually transform into a Granute. Now, what we know so far is that when Shoma transforms into Kamen Rider Gavv, this rider-like suit, or what we see as a Kamen Rider suit, is actually Shoma's Granute form. And, that's kind of what we see established as the show progresses. But we do know that Shoma's Gavv was modified by his grand uncle, Dente. And this, again, because of this, he was able to transform into the Kamen Rider Gavv as we know. However, it could be possible that sometime in the past, Oshoma was, I don't know, somehow able to travel to the human world, and his Granute powers, went out of control. Or maybe this was before he was taken to, the Granute world with his mother. Again, we don't know much of that backstory yet, but nonetheless, Shoma, as a child, while in the human world, so there was probably a time or a moment when, he lost control of his Granute abilities and then transformed into a monster, and in that rampage attacked Hanto's mom. So this is my headcanon for now regarding what happened. But if it is, so it's going to be interesting to see what or how it'll affect Shoma and Hanto's relationship going forward. So we see them become allies finally. Like, they know each other's identities as Kamen Riders and they trust each other for it. So, when Hanto finds out, or, if this is the case, right? So if Hanto finds out that Shoma is actually the guy who attacked his mom, so this is gonna be, a really big plot twist, because like we would probably see them, grow closer together as friends, maybe best friends even, and then like you find out that your best friend is actually the guy who unalived your mom, right? So this is the twist that I can see moving forward if we are going to follow this route. Again, unless Shoma's Red Gavv is just a red herring for another person, or another Granute rather, who is actually the real culprit behind, you know, the attack on Hanto's mom. So earlier on in the show, there has been a theory that uh, Soji Shioya, so the guy who is basically Hanto's adoptive parent, actually calls him Master. So there was an early theory that he was actually that Granute, but by episode 6, so when Soji himself was unalived by the Granute of the week, so that theory just flies out the window, completely debunked. So again, we could say Soji himself was a red herring in that situation. So, throwing off people's expectations, like, wait, like your master could have been the guy who, uh, you know, attacked your mom long ago, but nope, he isn't. And rather, uh, Soji's maybe apparent death was one of the factors or one of the motivators that led Hanto into becoming Kamen Rider Valid in the first place. Along with his mom, of course. So, again, this is the most interesting thing about this plot in, Gavv. So, I'm really looking forward to seeing how this plays out. So, like, for me, it's as someone who not really predicts, but for imagines that this could be the case. So, if my head canon actually plays out the way I think, or anywhere close to that, so it's gonna be a big payoff on my end, really. And like, yeah, I knew this was gonna happen. So, but who knows? There could be some other twist that might be more shocking or more interesting. Again, in future episodes, but we are yet to see what's gonna happen. So, what do you guys think? Do you think Shouma is actually the Granute who attacked Hanto's mom, or do you think there's another Granute who did it? Let me know down in the comment section. So, as always, thank you so much for watching. Please do leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget that notification bell so you get the latest from JEFusion. This has been Philip, and I'll see you next time.